What's up, guitar nerds? Brad from simpleguitar.com here. I've got 4 chords for you today that you are going to want to steal and use in just about every song that you play. Now, all these chords are in the same key, so they sound great together, and they're all in the same position, so that makes it super easy for you to play them. And you're gonna find these chords in a lot of popular music, including songs like Crash Into You by Dave Mathews Band, or For You to Notice by Dashboard Confessional. These are some really cool sounding chords. I've used them to write my own songs, and you're going to want to use them too. Now, here are these chords. We're going to have a C sharp minor 7 chord. We're going to have an A sus2 chord, or a suspended second chord. We're going to have an E with a G sharp in the bass, which is going to kind of act like a G sharp minor chord for us. We're going to have an awesome sounding E5 chord, and we're going to throw in at the end, just for fun, a B sus4 or a B suspended 4th chord. Okay, now these are absolute gold. These songs have a modern emotional edge to them that make songs like Crash Into You like really unforgettable. Now, you can also play them on any guitar. You're going to hear these a lot in acoustic music, and that's great. It sounds awesome. But you guys already know I mostly am playing electric guitar in my videos, so I'm going to show you how you can do them on electric guitar too. But it does not matter what guitar you're playing these on. You can do them with anything, okay? All right, so let's break these chords down. Our first chord that we're going to start with is a C sharp minor 7 chord, and it's going to take 3 fingers. We're going to start with your 3rd finger. It's going to go on the 4th fret of your 5th string, which is your C sharp note, okay? And then after that, you're going to use your 1st finger. You're going to put that on the 2nd fret of your 4th string, the next string, okay? So we're going to have both of those down at the same time. And then you're going to use your pinky and put it on the 4th fret of your 3rd string. And then you're going to play your first 2 strings open. So we're going to have 5 strings for this chord, no low E string. You could throw that in. It wouldn't sound terrible. But for now, just 5 strings. So start on your 5th string. And we're going to have your 4th fret, then your 2nd fret, and then your 4th fret, and then open, and then open. That is your C sharp minor 7 chord. And that is just a cool sounding chord. And it's an awesome way to play a C sharp minor 7 in more of an open position than having to do a bar chord like this, or like this, right? It just makes it nice and simple and easy for you, okay? Now, the good thing is you can take that chord and you can strum it, or you could arpeggiate it by just picking through the strings. You can try a different picking pattern. Or you can just make up whatever you want. You can use that chord to create some really cool sounds and textures. Now, the next chord is actually even easier than that. But let's go from that C sharp minor 7 chord. And to make our next one, which is an A sus2 or an A suspended second, we should probably do a video talking about what the heck that means, right? What you're going to do is you're just going to lift your 3rd finger off and play your 5th string open. So your 1st finger's still on the 2nd fret of your 4th string. Your pinky is still on the 4th fret of your 3rd string. And your first 2 strings are still open. And we're going to get that sound. And that's going to sound nice and cool. Now, since the only change between the C sharp minor 7 and the A sus2 is that 1 finger, your 3rd finger on the 4th fret, all we're going to do is play that C sharp minor 7 and then lift up your 3rd finger, and you've got a really cool sounding chord change. In fact, if you play it like that, that kind of sounds like the opening to Pardon Me by Incubus, right? I won't sing it for you, but now let's go to the next one. We're going to do the same thing. Your 1st finger and your 4th finger, your pinky, are going to be in the same place. Your 1st finger is on 2 on your 4th string. Your pinky is on 4 on your 3rd string. Now what we're going to do is take your 3rd finger, and then rather than putting it on 4 on your 5th string, like for C sharp, we're going to scoot it over to your 6th string, and it's going to play the 4th fret on your 6th string, and you're going to lay it back so that it mutes your 5th string, and then we're going to have 4 on your 6th string, 2 on your 4th string, 4 on your 3rd string, and then your first 2 strings open, And this is your E with a G sharp in the bass. But just for the sake of ease, I just think of this as playing a G sharp minor. It kind of has that function when you're playing songs, and it does get used and stuff. But saying E with a G sharp in the bass, it's just kind of a mouthful, right? Now we're going to take that and we're going to transition this just to an open E chord, okay? And now there's a couple of different ways that you can do this, okay? I'm going to show you the first one. From that G sharp with your third finger on the fourth fret of your sixth string, what you're going to do is just lift up on that and play your sixth string open. And you can do two things. One, you can use your first finger here to just lightly touch your fifth string so that it mutes it with your fingernail, right? And then you can strum through that with your open sixth string, second fret on your fourth string, fourth fret on your third string, and then your first two strings open. And that sounds great. This is just an E5, which means there's no third in the chord. Now, the third in the chord is what will determine if it sounds major or minor, and an E5 chord does not have the third. It's just the root note, which is E, and the fifth, which is B. That's it. And so you could actually use it in place of E major or E minor. It'll function both ways, okay? But the other way to do this is to actually take your first finger, and rather than muting your A string, you lay it flat and you kind of bar or double stop your second fret on your A string, and then also the second fret on your fourth string, and you play that with your open sixth string, and you get this. And that way, you have a full E5 with all six strings, right? So check this out. So far, we can go from our C sharp minor 7, and we can go to our open A sus2, E with a G sharp in the bass, and then we have our E. Really cool, right? So we have C sharp minor 7, you have your A, E with the G sharp, and then down to E. Now, I'm just playing them in that order for now, but you can mess around with that. You can take those, you can put them in any different order that you want to. You can try strumming them for different lengths. You can try picking them for different lengths. You can try changing it up and strumming one for a minute and then picking it and then strumming the next one and then picking it. You can do whatever you want. You can steal these, okay? But just as a bonus, I want to give you one more chord that's going to tie these together, and it's very similar, and we're in the same position. I have not moved my hand at all, right? I'm still basically in open position for C sharp minor 7, for A, for E with the G sharp, and for E5. Now, what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to give you a B sus4, which is one of my favorite chords to do, and it's very simple. If you know how to play a power chord, that's essentially all we're going to do. We're going to play a power chord. So I'm going to take my first finger. It's going to go on the first fret of my, second fret of my fifth string. And then I'm going to play my third finger on the fourth fret of my fourth string. And then my pinky is going to stay put where it's been this whole time on the fourth fret of my third string. And then my first two strings are open. And this is a B sus4 chord, which is essentially that 3-string power chord of 2, 4, 4 right there, right? And then your open B and open E. And so you can couple this B sus4 chord with your C sharp minor 7, with your A. Then I'm going to play B. And then I'm going to play G sharp. And then E. Right? Now let's put all those chords together. Let's play a chord progression. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pick these because we've got 5 chords. I'm just going to pick these kind of at random. We're going to start with our C sharp minor 7. Okay? And then next, let's go to our A sus2. And then let's play our E with a G sharp. And then let's play our E. And then let's play the B. Okay? And what I'm going to do, for now, I'm just going to strum these really simply. I'm going to use probably the most common strum pattern in the world. 1, 1, 2, and 4, and. Or down, down, up, down, up. And I'm just going to strum these a couple of times each. So let's start with that C sharp minor 7 like this. And then we're going to go to the A, so I'm just lifting up my third finger. then I'm gonna go to the E with a G sharp. And then E5. And then I'm gonna change to the B sus4. And then repeat it. Right, you can use that. Now that's a very simple one. Let's do a different chord progression. Let's change it up a little bit more. Let's start with C sharp minor this time again. And then let's do our B. And then let's do our E and then A. So let's try that. So it's C sharp minor 7. And this time I'm going to pick them instead of strumming. So because these chords are all in the same key, they're all part of the same family, so they're going to sound good together in just about any combination that you can put them together with, okay? Now, I will tell you this, just to make it easy on yourself, either start and end your chord progression on the C sharp minor 7 chord or your E chord. That's just going to make it easier, depending, right? You're going to have to resolve to one of those chords in most cases. That's just going to make it simple. Okay, so either start with E or start with C sharp minor 7. Really, there's no rules, so that's not like a hard, fast rule. I'm just start that way and then try some other sounds with it too. Now, as you are first getting to learn these, make sure that you take your time to get each chord down and make sure that each string is sounding out nice and clean. Taking your time to just make sure that every string in the chord is sounding out clean and that you can transition between the chords is going to be awesome. To make that easy, you can do stuff like chord squeezes that we talked about, where you're actually just squeezing the chord to get it down faster so that your fingers and your brain build that connection so that they know what the chord is and can play it all together. Or your 1 minute chord changes where you're doing like playing your C sharp minor 7 and then changing to your E5. And you're doing that as many times as you can in 1 minute. That's going to make it nice and easy for you to learn these and get them down. So there you have it. There are some chords that you are definitely going to want to steal and use and play around with. Please tell me down in the comments which one of these do you like the most. What's your favorite one of these chords? And how are you going to put them together? What kind of chord progression are you going to play with these chords? But I hope this was helpful for you. And if it was, do like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. But I also have another gift for you. If this was helpful and you want me to help you make learning guitar more simple, then go check out my free gift that I have for you. It's called the Top 10 Things to Learn on Guitar First. And you can go get it at my website at simpleguitar.com/top10. In there, all you're going to have to do is put in your email address, and then I will email it over to you. It's a 17-page guide going over 10 things that I help beginners with all the time that gets you a lot of bang for your buck. So you can have more fun playing guitar right away. You can play more real music, even if you're just starting out. And it makes learning guitar a lot more simple. It takes a lot of the mystery out of what do I need to learn or what's going to actually make me play well. So go pick up that guide. Top 10 Things to Learn on Guitar First at simpleguitar.com/top10, and then have fun stealing these chords. Go play some songs with them. Go try them out. Let me know how it goes, and I will catch you guys in the next video.